What's up, everybody? A week ago was our last major mid-season update for Warzone 1, aka Season 5 of Vanguard and Warzone Pacific. And just like usual, a week after major updates, I like to put out my loadout suggestions, and that's what we're going to do today. So, without wasting your time, let's go ahead and jump into the 10 loadouts I'm recommending for the mid-season update of the last season of Warzone 1. Alright, and as usual, we're always going to start with the comeback class. I probably don't need to include these anymore, but I still always do because I always think it's good to have a comeback class. And today, it's different than usual. We have the Whitley here. Watch my videos, you know what this means for the Whitley later. But it's usual build that we would run the MX silencer. Whoops. The Gracie MK9 is the best barrel for long range. Your choice of optic. I've moved back to the 3 to 6 times. Screw the glint. It's the cleanest looking optic. You have up to 6 times zoom. Doesn't have a whole lot of visual recoil, even though they keep nerfing it. The CGC R4 stock is going to be your best stock. It gives you overall recoil control and movement speed. There's nothing else that gives you just overall recoil control, let alone also movement speed. Ends up being your best stock. Strife-angled carver, or hand stop. I know some people use the bipod, but I don't have to remember to crouch every time. And Mark 6 skeletal if you can handle the ADS speed, of course. Then you're going to go with the 303 45 round mag. The lengthened. I choose hatch grip since we're not stacking initial or sustained firing recoil, but grooved is good. You can still run polymer. And then we're going with hard scope here. You could go with sleight of hand. You do have a 45 round mag, so I take the recoil control help. You're not pushing, so frenzy's not important. So I end up going with hard scope. If you don't want to go hard scope, I would go sleight of hand. And then fully loaded because it's our comeback class. And then we have the automatic Psychov build with fully loaded, monolithic suppressor, auto barrel, lightweight trigger, 80 round drum, fully loaded. I think that's the best pistol to use, and so I stick with it. And then perks, lethal, tactical are always up to you. Obviously, for this, you want to have your second perk be restock, tempered, high alert, or ghost if you want to use ghost. And then heavy sniper. You probably know by now the Granko's the king of the heavy snipers. And it's the MX silencer like all ranged weapons. The 420 Empress ends up being the best barrel. It gives you better ADS speed and gives you reduced scope sway and gun bob, which is important. The other option is also the Anastasia Custom, but you lose fire rate, which part of the Granko's benefit is the fire rate, but you get the flinch resistance. The rapid barrel we're not going to use, and the wrap barrel, it hurts your damage range. We don't want to do that on sniper. And then 3 to 6 times, or you could go to 4 to 8 times. Those are the two that I would run. Reinforced stock gives you better aim down sight speed and recoil recovery, so that's just essentially centering. I don't think there's anything else worth checking out. Maybe the support stock for the flinch resistance. Same thing with the heavy stock. And maybe the sniper stock. But any one of these bottom 4 stocks work well. The nice thing about the reinforced stock is the initial firing recoil. Since it's a semi-automatic sniper, obviously it kicks. We want to reduce that. The initial firing recoil helps. And then you also get the benefit of ADS speed and the recoil recovery, which is that recentering of your reticle. And then bipod, flashlight, we don't need to increase the damage range where it's one-shot, headshot everywhere. And bayonet, we're not meleeing people, but you could do it with the movement speed. And bipod just ends up being the best because there's nothing really any better. You could run no underbarrel. And then they're all the same caliber, so we just want to go with the biggest mag. FMJ, subsonic, we're already silenced. Incendiary, we're hurting bullet velocity and damage range. FMJ is just the best of the worst. Stippled, it's the same thing, that initial firing recoil so it doesn't kick up as high between bullets, and then the recoil recovery to help recenter your gun. Shrouded is what I go with. Focus is also good for flinch resistance, but I like the scope glint reduced, and everything else is just kind of useless. And then on hand for the quicker ADS. From there, I think the best AR sniper support, which I'm going to pair with a heavy sniper over an SMG sniper support, is still the Cooper. It's the same sniper support build I've been recommending. The recoil booster, the Cooper custom barrel. Your choice of optic, the Cooper custom padded stock, strife angled, carver, skeletal, or hand stop, your preference. 9mm 60 round mags. Compressed rounds because we're using this kind of like an SMG to increase their fire rate. Taped grip because once again, we're using it like an SMG. and then fleet and on hand. If you do find that you need more recoil control, switch this to polymer, switch this to tight grip, and then keep the custom padded, and just like when we use it at long range, it'll stack the sustained recoil benefits. If you look at stocks, there's nothing else that this is during sustained recoil again. This hurts your recoil control, and since we're with a heavy sniper, we do want to be able to use this at a little bit of an AR range. Skeletal hurts initial firing recoil, and 45 RS hurts the sustained recoil. So Cooper Custom Padded, it just ends up being best. It doesn't hurt your ADS, helps during sustained fire. Also, if you don't want to necessarily do sustained fire, you want overall help, the hard scope is also a good option. You can also run vital too, but it doesn't increase the time to kill that much and hurt your recoil control. And then on hand for faster ADS. Aggressive sniper, it's always going to be the car. You could put SPR in here, you could put Pellington. I don't know, maybe the car from Vanguard, but I don't know how much slower that ADS is. But Modern Warfare car is still king. It's the same Month Expressor, Vanguard custom 27.6 inch barrel, tack laser, sniper scope. Obviously, if you have it, you always want to go with the black tie affair. There is one more blueprint, but I don't remember off the top of my head, to get that thinner bezel. You do want to change the reticle. I at least do. I hate the arrow. And then either you want to go with precision comb or sport comb. Sport comb is going to give you the best ADS. Precision comb makes it move like not at all. It doesn't sway at all, so you don't have to hold your breath. And then the best SMG for sniper support is going to be the Type 100. It's mostly the same Type 100 that we've always been running with the recoil booster, the rapid barrel, strife angled, lengthened or subsonic. The main differences here, we do have gung ho and quick like we always do. The main differences are we're running the 48 round drum instead of the 30 caliber 36 round mag. It does give you a barely slower time to kill. It does obstruct your view a little more, but it's 12 more rounds. And then we have the weighted stock instead of the normal skeletal to help during sustained fire, polymer to help during sustained fire, since we are going to shoot this at range a little more. And when you use a rapid barrel and a recoil booster, sometimes the guns can get out of control. The big problem with the 36 round mag is obviously ammo. That's always been the problem with it. And so I went with the 48, but if you don't like the obstruction of the view and you don't mind the 12 less bullets, go with the 36 round mag. Both hurt your fire rate. And so really we're going for more ammo here. Now we're going to get into ARs and LMGs. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to first start with the SMG. It's the Type 100 again. It ranks number 7 because of the ammo problem, but time to kill wise, damage drop off. It has the farthest damage range, the fastest time to kill, head, neck, chest, stomach, you name it. It is the fastest killing SMG, but the ammo is a huge, huge problem if you play anything other than solos and duos. That's why it ends up at number 7, but it's the same exact as we had a second ago, except skeletal stock, taped grip, and I think that's the only difference. And then gung-ho, quick, that's all the same. So it's just the stock and the grip. But the AR with this class is number 7, the Automaton, and the Automaton is the only Vanguard AR on this list, except for one other one. They just have been nerfing them. The Cold War ARs are really good right now. And so it's the same Automaton build we've seen for a while now. The MX Silencer, the ZAC 600mm, your choice of optic, Anastasia padded, hand stop, Carver, or Mark 6 skeletal. There is no strife angled on the Automaton. 6.5, 75 round drum, lengthened, polymer, tight grip, on hand. Once again, we have a case of polymer, tight grip, and Anastasia padded, stacking for that additional benefit on the sustained recoil. And of course, optics always your choice, but like I said, I just feel like it's the best. Number 6 is the Farah. If it's only going to be if you're one of my buddies, but if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know I've always loved the Farah. The Farah's never really gone anywhere. But the Farah is at number 6, despite it having a better time to kill than most of the Vanguard ARs now, and the Modern Warfare ARs, just like a bunch of other Cold War ARs. It does have slower ADS than other Cold War guns, Vanguard guns, and it does have a slower reload. So it ends up this far down on the list, but this thing's still really, really good, and it's back. It's the same build we're going to run with all Cold War weapons, Grew Suppressor or Agency, Spetsnaz or Spetsnaz barrel or Field Agent, right? No, it's Field Agent grip. It's the Task Force barrel. Spetsnaz grip or Field Agent grip. Axial arms 3 times. Spetsnaz 60 round mag. With that, I have the Marco. The Marco's not great. It certainly doesn't kill as fast as the Type 100, but it does kill faster than like all of the Cold War SMGs, almost all of the Modern Warfare SMGs except for like the AUG, which is super duper slow. And with that, we have the recoil booster. This is the same marker I ran for a while. The recoil booster, the Amaretto 342 barrel, the hand stop, the 8mm Nambu 64 round mags, lengthened, your choice of optic, Perfetto Asada stock, taped grip, gung ho, and quick. If you want to run this as a kimbo, you would switch the gung ho to a kimbo. You would no longer have an underbarrel. You would switch to the 285 custom barrel for hipfire accuracy, and then you would switch to the Amaretto the HF folding, and that's if you want to run the akimbo, which does actually kill faster than like everything on this list, but then you're limited to only hipfire. I hate that. Number 5, we have the Vargo. Vargo, once again, is the same old Cold War build. The Gru Suppressor, Task Force Barrel, Axial Arms, 3 times, Spetsnaz 60 round mag. There is some debate on having the speed grip on here. The Spetsnaz grip helps with the horizontal and the vertical, whereas Spetsnaz helps with only horizontal, but it helps with horizontal the most. And there is more horizontal on the Vargo 52 than there is on other Cold War ARs. And then we're going to have the armor wearer. It's the same armor wearer build that I've been recommending for a while now. The recoil booster, the 550 barrel, the strife angled, or carver, hand stop, skeletal, whatever you prefer, slate reflector, or your choice of optic, the Amaretto SA folding stock for the movement speed, the 9mm 55 round mag, lengthened, tape grip, hard scope, and quick. There's no gung ho, there's no momentum, and vital doesn't really increase your time to kill. Hurt your recoil control. This Armawera is built for recoil control. If you're not struggling with the recoil, switch to the 315 barrel, and that will give you the fastest time to kill. And if you think you're a movement god, switch to the short barrel. But both of those are going to hurt your recoil control significantly. A lot of people like the precision, but it hurts your body damage, and it gives you a little more recoil control. Maybe it increases your headshot damage, but most players are hitting body damage, not headshot damage. So I stick with the Amaretto 550. Helps with the flinch resistance and recoil control, bullet velocity. And this thing doesn't really move at all as I have it set up, but if you do struggle and you want to build the same otherwise, you can go to the body DA and you'll have literally no recoil. Number 4 is going to be the XM4. The XM4, it's the same agent suppressor, task force barrel, axe arms 3 times, field agent grip, Stanag 60 round mag. Like I said, the Cold War ARs all of a sudden are looking really good, and there's only one other Vanguard AR on this list. As for SMGs, the MP40 has moved up, definitely, with all the nerfs and the weapon changes coming in the mid-season update, and it's the same short barrel loadout we've been running for a while now. Recoil booster, short barrel, hand stop. I don't think the strife angled's necessary. I don't think there's a whole lot of horizontal recoil, but obviously strife angled, skeletal, hand stop, carver foregrip. And then SG98 compact is also really good if you want to be movement god, but it's only during aim walking movement speed, so I just don't worry about it too much. But all those typical underbarrels. Then we have the 45 round mag, lengthened, tape grip, your choice of optic, Krausnik folding, or if you don't think the recoil's too bad, go with the remove stock if you don't think, because you're going to get the best movement speed and you get more hip fire accuracy. But I like the folding, gives you sprint fire speed, movement speed without hurting your overall recoil. Then we go with momentum. If you want to balance out that recoil because you want to go no stock, go with perfectionist. Otherwise, I'd stick with momentum. You could also go steady for ADS firing move speed, and then quick once again. Before we get into top 3, I just want to mention the EM2 TTK-wise also fits within these top 7. It fits, with the Farah, the XM4, the Vargo. The time to kill is very similar. So is the Cold War AK. The Krig is just barely slower than that. I think the QBZ as well. Essentially what I'm saying is Cold War ARs right now are pretty much all better than the Vanguard ARs, except for what I have at number 2. Number 3 is going to be the UGM8. The UGM8 did almost make number 1, except what I have at number 1 kills barely slower, and you're running it with a 45 round mag, so you reload faster. But this thing is still an absolute beast, and it's the same build. We've been running the MX silencer, the Bernard XL214 barrel, strife angled, carver, or hand stop based off your preference, your choice of optic, the Mercier WT Ancre stock, the 6.5mm 100 round box, the lengthened, polymer grip, tight grip, and on hand. Of course, once again, we're stacking the Mercier stock, the polymer grip, and the tight grip for sustained recoil. If you want to run burst, which is still extremely viable, you switch to the 560 barrel, you switch to stippled grip, and you switch to the TAC YR or the Bernard, depends on what you want. You do get better aim down sight speed, but I think you get a little more initial firing recoil with the TAC YR, and then you would switch it to brace instead of tight grip. With that, we have the RA225, which is a completely slept-on SMG. It kills really fast. Still, it's got like no recoil at all. I definitely think it's top 3 SMG right now. And if you have the Deathglow blueprint, it's pretty much that blueprint. I think I only changed the stock, but we have the recoil, changed the stock, the optic, the rear grip length. Okay, so I did change a little bit more, but recoil booster, rapid barrel, and the magazine all come on the stock. I mean, come on the blueprint, as well as the strafe angle, which I think are the most important attachments on here. Then we have the lengthened, your choice of optic, taped grip like I run on most of my SMGs. The Valenta LDB, it gives you recoil recovery, so that recentering when you stop firing, and it helps your movement speed. The only other one I would consider is the Moravik MB, but it hurts your recoil control, hurts your ADS speed. It does give you that movement speed, but the Valenta gives you movement speed as well. Slightly better movement speed than the MP stock. And then we're going with momentum. Vital literally like doesn't change the time to kill at all. It's not worth it. It hurts your recoil. Shouldn't need tight grip on this, so we end up with momentum. You could go with sleight of hand, because one of the reasons this is number 3 and not 1 or 2 is that 48 round mag is a little bit light on ammo. And then we're going to go with quick. For number 2, now we have the Cooper carbine. Cooper, it drops off a little earlier than other ARs and LMGs on this list, but it kills almost as fast as what number 1 is, and the UGM. Kills faster than like all the Vanguard ARs, and kills faster than all the Cold War Modern Warfare ARs. And so we have the same loadout people have been running for a while: the MX Silencer, Cooper Custom, Strife Angled, Carver, Hand Stop, whatever you prefer. 9mm 60 round drums, lengthened, your choice of optic, polymer, Cooper Custom padded, tight grip, and on hand. Once again, with the polymer, the Cooper Custom padded, and the tight grip, we're stacking that sustained recoil control, which you want to do whenever you can. And number 2, I still have the PPSH. The Hipfire PPSH is still the best, or one of the best SMGs in the game, in my opinion. It did get a slight nerf, but not really. If you're worried about that nerf, you'll pretty much eliminate the nerf by switching to the 7.6 round, 71 round mag, which really should, because the Nambu got ammo reduced to 64 from 71. But it's the same build: recoil booster, the 230 barrel, the slate reflector, remove stock, all the barrel and the remove stock for hip fire, as well as the M1915 steady. It does give you slightly less hip fire accuracy and recoil control than the Carver. Well, the Carver is all vertical, but the steady does not hurt your ADS speed for those cases that you do need an ADS. And then I run hollow point on mine because we're hip firing, so I'm not really worried about the damage range. But once again, you do lengthened or subsonic. Pine tar is going to be your hip fire accuracy. Then we're going to have fleet and quick, like we always would. You could do tight grip since it's a little weak on recoil control. We're not going to do steady because that's ADS. So I end up with fleet, and then of course quick. And then number 1, the new best loadout in Warzone, in my opinion, and pretty backed up statistically, is going to be the Whitley. The Whitley, like I said, kills barely slower than the UGM-8, but it's a 45 round mag, so you reload quicker, you're a little bit faster moving, and so it just ends up being slightly better, but you will have to reload, obviously, kind of often, because it's only 45 rounds. It'd be a lot better if it was 55 to 75, somewhere in there. But that's actually wrong. We need to switch to the MX Silencer, and then the Gracie MK9 barrel helps you with bullet velocity, helps you with recoil control, and gives you flinch resistance. The next closest barrel that gives you what you need would be the Ragdoll, but that hurts your ADS speed, doesn't give you any control at all. And same thing with the Gracie Rapid, doesn't give you any control at all, hurts your damage, increases your fire rate. And the Shroud, it's like if you're running it as an SMG, helps ADS speed, fire rate, all that. So we go with the Gracie MK9. Your choice of optic. And then we have the CGC R4 stock. That helps with recoil control, recoil recovery, and movement speed, whereas the EM3 helps with recoil recovery, but not recoil control. Doesn't help you with movement speed. The adjustable helps with movement speed, doesn't help with recoil. The EK8 doesn't help with movement speed, doesn't help with recoil. And the padded doesn't help with recoil control, doesn't help with movement speed. So we end up with this CGC R4. Once again, strife angled, carver, hand stop, whatever your choice is. Like I said, we go with the 303 45 British mags. Gives you the fastest controllable time to kill. You can't get faster time to kill with the 50 BMG, and you won't get it faster with the 30-06 because that's the normal ammo. And then we have hatch grip because we're not stacking sustained this time, so we're going with hatch because it helps you with overall recoil control. And then hard scope for the same exact reason. You could go sleight of hand, especially because you're going to reload kind of a lot with the 45-round mag, and then on hand. And once again, I think the Blixen is at the top. If you want the fastest time to kill you can go with the Johnson the Johnson 9-inch RMK barrel. That will give you the fastest time to kill, but it hurts your recoil, hurts your headshot damage. So I go with the Bergstrom. It gives you absolutely no recoil with the rest of this build, helps your bullet velocity, and doesn't take away damage anywhere. But the the Johnson 9-inch RMK will kill a little bit faster. I just prefer the recoil control and hitting my shots, but either one of those barrels. And then strife angled, carver, whatever your choice is. Hand stop, 7.62 54-round mag, lengthened, slate reflector, taped just like I always run. Remove stock, it does hurt your recoil control. If you feel like you're struggling with that recoil control, even with this barrel, go with the Johnson Skeletal CR10. If you're going to run that Johnson barrel, I would probably run the Johnson Skeletal stock as well. Which, also helps with your... The remove stock helps with movement speed, sprint fire speed, and ADS speed the most, but the CR10 helps with that movement speed and recoil control. And then fleet and quick like always. Those are my top 10 loadouts right now. If there's any major updates once the season ends or anything, obviously these will change and I'll do a whole 10 loadouts as well. But otherwise, I'll just cover updates to weapons as they come, if they come anymore. But those are my top 10. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate any watch time at all. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more. I will be uploading a video on long range and short range meta, as well as the Liena 57 whenever that actually gets released to us. So hit that notification bell for those, and also Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2/DMZ news as we get it. I will also link down below, as usual, my Twitch, which I've been streaming almost daily, my TikTok, my Instagram, which I post on pretty much daily, and also my Twitter, which is less gaming heavy, but if you want to check that out, please feel free to. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about my loadouts. Am I right, am I wrong, am I smart, am I dumb? But I will see you on Caldera, Rebirth Island, and Fortune's Keep while we still have all of them. Get frying. Have a good day.